top KTM supported teams, so the CF Moto Aspar squad, the KTM AO team and the Husqvarna squad all moving to WP suspension. It's thrown a bit of a spanner in the works and give them some work to do, but no doubt they'll figure it out before too long.
Yeah, for Man Aldeguer, sort of continued where he left off as we just look here at the motorcycle of Somkiat Chancellor, another rider that could well feature in the top 5 this year. But Aldeguer finished the year with 4 wins, fastest in the Jerez test as well, so it bodes well for the 18-year-old.
It does, and he is hot on everyone's lips as a potential MotoGP rider for 2025, so he's going to set his stall out these first few rounds, I do believe, and try and get his signature on a contract.
Second in the test, that's just worth mentioning, is a homecoming for Joe Roberts in the American racing team, returning there after, of course, a few years with Italtrans Racing. And that, I mean, you could almost see the confidence coming out of Joe post-test. He will be really, really happy with that, and the switch to Pirelli seems to have worked well for him.
It has, and yeah, it's amazing the difference it makes when you go to a Italtrans championship winning team. Native language is Italian, but moving back to the American racing squad, the communication has improved. He's back in there under Hopper, under Ethan Bootbull. It just seems like he's moved back home, and he was so fast, riding the bike how Joe does best. Fast flowing, releasing the brake and just rolling through the turns. I was down there in Jerez watching him on the bike, and he looked like the Joe Roberts who stuck it on pole here a few years ago. So I think he could be on for a strong weekend here in Qatar.
We just saw a couple of rookies on screen there, but we can't sort of not mention them. They were brilliant in Moto3. Dennis Onju, he was box office in Moto3, MLAV, and I think, you know, we can't get carried away early on, but he's already looking pretty at home on the Moto2 bike.
He is, and we know how long it's taken the riders to transition. This is another one, Diogo Moreira. Getting the feel for the heavier machine, the 765 triple, the way it accelerates off the turns, it takes a little bit of figuring out, but when you watch Onshu, you know he's going to be good on a big bike, as is Diogo Moreira. So I think we've got some really exciting rookies to look forward to in Moto2 this year.
Yeah, we've got lots to look forward to coming up in this Moto2 session, and we'll have all of the action starting up when we return from this short break.
Entire Cover Bike and Multi-Bike Insurance sponsors MotoGP Championships on TNT Sport.
This year is such an important year.
Jake Dixon had done as of last night.
It's been so out of control.
Dixon's gone down, I don't believe it.
It's just now or never, Jake.
I've just won my first GP and
It doesn't get any easier.
My mind's elsewhere. I want to go to MotoGP.
Jake Dixon has crashed out on the British Grand Prix.
I am built for this game.
He has the inner demons.
I'm going to the top.
Want tickets for tonight? Message now.
Warning. Enter your details to reschedule your delivery.
Amazing holiday offer.
Had an accident, send money.
Hi, James. Your bank account has been compromised, and I need a few personal details.
Fraud is getting more sophisticated. Always stop, think, and check. Stay ahead of scams at gov.uk/stopthinkfraud.
Investing with Money Farm combines the best of both, the simplicity of smart tech and the reassurance of human expertise. Invest now and get up to £750 cash back.
Rocky deserves a day off his guard duties. So we got this.
The Simply Safe home security system.
Nice, eh? And affordable.
Which shows the sensors.
And HD cameras that work for us.
It was really easy to install. So, no need for that, Rocky.
Best thing, it doesn't cost an arm and it.
Get our Which Best Buy rated starter pack from under £200. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Are you ready for this? Let's go! This is TNT Sports, where you need to be.
Entire Cover Bike and Multi-Bike Insurance sponsors MotoGP Championships on TNT Sport.
Welcome back to the Losail International Circuit. 2024 in the MotoGP World Championship starts now, and it's the first glimpse of Moto2 about to go on circuit here. Qatar a couple of hours ahead of us here in the UK, but the lights will be on a bit later on. Don't go anywhere because MotoGP will be coming up with Susie and the gang a bit later. But first up, it's Moto2. Joining me in this one for commentary is MLAV. Here is Joe Roberts, second in the test in Jerez just before the start of the season, returning home to the American racing team. We just saw, while we were on the break there, Jake Dixon getting ready to head out on circuit as the green light is on at the end of pit lane, ready to begin the start of this session. We mentioned Pirelli tyres just before this one, just before the break. MLAV, I'm really intrigued to see it. It's quite clear that it offers more grip, that Pirelli tyre. It's going to certainly favour some riders more than others. Do you think it's going to have a big impact in the latter stages of races, though?
I do believe it will. It depends a lot on the circuit, and obviously some of these circuits are new to Pirelli. This surface was relayed, and last year when we came here in November, it was actually giving the tyres a hard time, so I'm guessing Pirelli have done their homework over the winter. They're bringing a tyre that should work, but we did see some tyre wear, some banding issues, some temperature issues throughout testing. More so in Moto3, it seemed like the Moto2 tyres were standing up to the test really quite well. The riders were happy with the feeling, but I do think it's going to change the dynamic a lot in terms of the management process throughout the practice session. So all the riders saying you get a 5-lap window and then you get a slight drop. So obviously with the Dunlops in previous years, you could go out, you could do 5 laps, pit, come back on track again and match your lap time, whereas it does seem like there may be a drop. So managing your tyre allocation throughout the weekend to be fast at critical points is going to be even more critical this season, I do believe. So yeah, I think there's still some figuring out for the teams and riders to do. Even speaking to Jake Dixon last night, they're still not getting the temperature into the rear Pirelli as they could do with the Dunlop, and maintaining that temperature is critical to tyre wear throughout the race. So yeah, a little bit of work to do all round, it seems.
Certainly does. Here's Aaron Canet, the 24-year-old from Valencia, who's still searching for that vital Moto2 victory. This will be his 69th start this weekend in Moto2. It's hard to believe, MLAV. He's always there or thereabouts, but it's hard to believe that he's had 20 podiums in this class and still searching for that victory.
Yeah, it is quite unbelievable because of the speed he's had through so many races in Moto2 and just not quite made the final step. I do believe it's going to happen this season. It's got to. Obviously a bit of a resurgence moving across to the Fantic team. It was such a shame not to get the victory with Pons after such a successful campaign in Moto2, but Aaron Canet looked like the man with the rhythm. His race pace was so strong in testing, but we've seen that in previous years. So yeah, he seems confident, he's ready for the fight, and believes now with Pedro Acosta moving on, he feels he's a championship chance here this season, but he's going to get a lot of challenges from every angle.
Yeah, he certainly is. This actually looks very, very much like a Moto3 field from about 2 years ago. It's packed full of talent. On screen here, number 21, Alonso Lopez, of course, continuing on with the speed-up racing Boscoscuro chassis. Had a really good 2022. It didn't quite go to plan for him last year, but he's more than capable of mixing it at the sharp end. Not had a win since 2022, but he'll look to put that right this year, as you get a glimpse there of the couple of the Italtrans machines. Dennis Foggia, after it'll be his rookie season coming up in Moto2. Marcos Ramirez continuing on with the OnlyFans American Racing team as well.